I don't know how the millennials feel about the budget deal that was made in Springfield the other day. It's a stopgap measure that will at least get schools open in the fall and fund essential city services. But even Governor Rauner, when he announced it, didn't sound too enthusiastic. Let's listen to the governor.
This is not a budget. This is not a balanced budget. This is not a solution to our long-term challenges. This is a bridge to reform. That's what this is. This is a bridge to reform, a bipartisan bridge to reform.
Pat, after a year without a budget, is this something that we should be celebrating?
Yeah, because it's for the first time in my lifetime, Speaker Madigan actually had to back down on some of the things that he wanted, and they actually reached a compromise, which is what it should happen. I know Susan did this when she was in Springfield and got things done. I think it's a step in the right direction, but the reality is this is a state that's at the bottom of virtually every economic measure. We need some of these reforms. We need to rein in our spending. We do need more revenues, and I think the governor put that on the table. So I think it's a great step forward, but the reality is we're a long way from getting the state turned around. You
said that Madigan backed down, but didn't Rauner back down too? I mean, he didn't get a lot of the so-called turnaround agenda that he was looking for.
Yeah, this was a compromise. What surprised me was the recognition by the governor that low-income neighborhoods are disproportionately affected by these budget cuts, and especially in education. And so you see that the deal has produced a lot more money that's coming to public schools and especially primary school and secondary schools. Those are the big winners in this, I think. And higher education, a lot of money that's going to college, which is sort of, speaking to the issue of millennials, I think that that too is an issue that millennials care about. And to the extent that the budget deal is delivering resources to public schools and to higher education, this is what's going to motivate young people to get involved. I think you said it, that they're the most educated demographic that there is as part of the electorate. And so I think that this is a very good thing. It's sort of surprising to me, but I think both sides see this as a compromise. But it's a short-term compromise. As a long-term proposition, what we need is really progressive taxation in the state.
Susan, so you've been there in Springfield.
I have. My head is still spinning. I watch this. It's always at the 11th hour. You're forced into a corner. You have to vote one way or the other to make something happen. And, my heart went out to both sides of the aisle because they really had to do something. So was it a win? Was it a compromise? I'm not in the General Assembly anymore. I hear from people on both sides of the aisle all the time, and they say, what just happened? Taxes are going to go up in Chicago. Nobody had a clue that that was really going to happen. There were no hearings. So the people that live in Chicago are going to pay a price. It might be necessary, but there should have been some discussion prior to that vote.
But that's the mayor that wanted that, though.
Yeah,
right?
Of course he wanted it. But, you have to have discussion. You and I aren't going to be paying all those taxes. Everybody in Chicago who just got hit with a tax increase.
Well, that's a very good point. I mean, Chicago just got this huge tax increase, and if you've been brave enough to open your August bill yet, I don't know, but I think the average increase is 13%, and this deal in Springfield is going to cause another $250 million in property taxes. Can Chicago stomach 2 property tax hikes in a row like this?
Well, remember, too, there's also, as part of this, some pension reform in there that hopefully there'll be some savings down the road that might offset some of the taxes. I don't live in the city, so I don't know, but it seems like the city's getting whacked pretty hard.
Yeah, this is a symptom of a really bad taxation system where rich people, wealthy folks, this flight from taxation by wealthy individuals and corporations. Mother Jones did a study recently showing that 2/3 of corporations are paying no income taxes at all. So the more that stays sort of as the status quo, the more likely we're going to see more and more of this going back to working people, middle-class families, to pay for these services.
Remember, in Illinois, the flat tax is in the Constitution, so there's not much we can do about it right now.
Yeah,
unless you can amend the Constitution.